but do these names that make sense for your portfolio, your investments? Brett Sifling is with us, investment advisor representative at Gerber Kawasaki. So ESG is very popular. It is all the talk, and it potentially could be an area that people love today and for the future. Are there gains ahead for this group?
Absolutely, Nicole. And I think that not only are there future gains, but this is really going to be generating the alpha of the future. And if you fail to look at companies through an ESG, or what we call an impact investing lens, you're going to end up in dying industries like oil and gas, for example, that don't have much value at these days.
So when we break down further specific areas within ESG, right, you have solar, alternative energy, everybody's trying to be environmentally conscious and make some good decisions going forward, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, wind and solar is now the cheapest energy option for 2/3 of the world, actually. And so, when we're looking at green energy, we're looking at, companies that are combating climate change. Our firm's most well known for being correct on Tesla, but there's also some, ETFs out there like TAN, which is the solar ETF, that's had huge gains this year. It's up over 140% year to date. So just because you care about the environment and care about, these things in the ESG lens doesn't necessarily mean that it has to hurt returns. In fact, these things are performing extremely well, as people are catching on sooner rather than later.
And then the social part of ESG, why are names like Microsoft and Apple on that list?
Yeah, well, Microsoft and Apple have really been at the forefront of this. I mean, on the environment side, they committed to being carbon neutral, but on the social side, these are companies that committed, to help develop served communities and help bring talent and tech talent from those communities directly into their company. And they've been shown that they can innovate better than anyone.
It's interesting because you said if we don't start to look into some of these areas in ESG, that we're going to be stuck and finding ourselves in dying industries like oil and gas. Are you anti other industries?
Absolutely. We believe that there's not a lot of value in these industries. We don't invest our own money or our clients' money if we believe that there's not a future. And we try to improve people's lives through successful investing. So really, we're looking at sustainability as a natural ally in our long-term performance of our portfolios. And these things, I call it the Chevron predicament too, because, just because a company like Chevron can donate $100 million to a climate fund, they can't slap an ESG label on themselves and just call themselves environmentally friendly. So we're looking at companies that are actually making a difference in the world and in people's lives rather than just posturing for investors.
So Beyond Meat might go into this. It's been a popular stock pick this year. It's had a lot of competitive offerings set to hit the market. Alternative meats, right? It's better for the planet, saves the cows. A lot of good things come from that, particularly during something like what we saw with the pandemic, where the meat producers were shut down. This is a trend that you like?
Yeah, absolutely. Organic foods and sustainable foods is something we look at. I wish there were more names in this space. I mean, Beyond Meat has been such a high flyer and people love following that company. But really, I would love to see more public names out on the market that we could choose from because, with the obesity problem in America, it's going to continue to get worse. And we need to have green foods in our lives.
Yeah, and I noticed you had Tesla grabbed your attention, which is clearly a winner and continues to grow. The ETF TAN. You want to talk about one of those?
Sure. I mean, Tesla's arguably doing more for, sustainability than anyone in the world and trying to give us, efficient transportation. Our CEO, Ross, has been just right on the stock all along, despite, all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's been pumped into the stock over time. And so, we're really excited about the future of the company. Obviously, it's gone up a ton, and it's, definitely something that you have to be careful with at these prices. But, it's got a bright future ahead of it.
Right, and the TAN goes back into that solar play, right? So what's the final takeaway?
Really, it's, if you're looking at these companies through this lens, you're naturally going to find companies that are growing and industries that are growing because it's become a trend, especially among younger people, millennials, and it is the future. If you're going to be investing, you need to be investing in your values.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ross Gerber has definitely been right about Tesla. I'll give you that, because Tesla is up year to date 436%. Brett Sifling, love having you on. Great discussion. Investment advisor, representative at Gerber Kawasaki.